We're at 1904 Sendero Verde in Colorado. This house spans over 14,000 square feet. It has 6 bedrooms, 7 full baths, and 2 half baths. The house sits on 145 acres, but they're close-in acres. It takes 15 minutes to get to Beaver Creek to ski, 25 minutes to get to Vail. You're shopping at the grocery store in 12 minutes. It's close to all the conveniences that you would want, and yet you're totally secluded and private. The private driveway is magnificent. As you crest the mountain, you see the Gore Range, you'll see the Sawatch Mountain Range, and you see the beautiful house with a really long porch overlooking a fire pit and the pond. All the trees, it's breathtaking. You walk in the front door, the wood trusses are from Aragoni wood. They were brought in from Austria. The floors are reclaimed wood floors from Austria. All the trim has been wire brushed, which gives it a really unique finish. There's not really a style to this house. This house is timeless. The home was built for entertaining and family. The first thing you do is enter the front door and look out this enormous window that's overlooking the Sawatch Mountain Range. It's an enormous living room. They've put a 2-story stone fireplace between the living room and the family room. There's 2 openings on each side of the fireplace with pocket doors. So if you've got a bunch of kids or teenagers and half the people want to be in one room, they can pull the pocket doors closed, still have the same fireplace, still feel that they're close to each other, but have the privacy that they want. The kitchen is enormous with huge windows with views, a big pantry. There's a bar in the family room. It's got its own refrigerator, its own dishwasher. I mean, everything is set up for entertaining and to make life easy. There's an enormous island that you can display all the food on. You can have great buffets. It's very functional for catering or for just a family that's cooking for themselves. As you leave the family room, you'll continue down a hallway to the primary suite. It has a fireplace, automatic blinds that come down that are hidden in the wood trusses, enormous closets, enormous bathroom, again, windows in every single area all the way across. There's a whole coffee bar back there. There's an enormous window over the sinks that's across from the shower that you can watch the wildlife walk by. And then off the bathroom are 2 room-sized closets, one of them opening out to the fenced area for the pets. There's a private staircase or elevator that'll lead to the 3 bedrooms upstairs or downstairs to a bunk room and a theater room. The Ford-tiered iron custom-made light fixture is truly a statement piece in the stairwell. There are 3 ensuite bedrooms upstairs with their own balconies, large picture windows to capture the view of the pond and the mountains. It's a wonderful, warm, and private experience for your guests. Through a secondary staircase, you can reach the 6th bedroom, very large, windows on 2 walls, viewing both of the mountain ranges. It also can be used as an office. You can take the staircase or the elevator to the lower level. There you'll find a very large media room, lots of chairs, sofas, every video you could imagine. It'll hold 20 or 25 people. To the right is a bunk room with its own private bath, window. Down the hallway, you'll have a small kitchenette, and then you'll continue down the hallway for all of the systems that run the house. This house fully sustains its own water because it has 5 wells on the property. In Colorado, water is a premium. We have a storage facility that will hold the water, then it sends it to the house. The water is purified. Some of the water goes into reverse osmosis, some is used for irrigation, and the rest just runs the water system in the house. When the owners bought this piece of property, they bought it because they felt it was the true Colorado experience. You got everything here. You got the wild animals, the views, the peace and quiet. They wanted to be sure that they had it where no matter what window, what room you were in, you saw the magnificent views of the mountains. So in the summer, wildflowers abound. You can go and paddleboard on the lake. There's a fire pit in the evenings as it gets cooler to sit around. And then you start hiking on the trails. And what they did, as the aspens would die, the caretaker would take these trees and build places for you to hike to. There's a cabin on one. There's a really neat castle that you can hike to and take picnics. And the animal watching is amazing. It's the true Colorado experience. Being here in the trees with the animals, quiet, nothing human around. The animals are so amazing that the owner hired a professional photographer to come on his property for 2 years, day and night, and photograph the wildlife that he saw. And then they put a book together. It is the Colorado experience. You can't imagine that in the world that we live in today with airplanes and buses and cars and people running so fast that you can drive 12 minutes out of Edwards, Colorado and be in a place as secluded, as private, as quiet, and yet with the most spectacular views that I've ever seen in a home.
I was always intrigued about real estate and investing in real estate, and I'd read articles. When I was 13 years old, I bought my own subscription to the Wall Street Journal, and so it did interest me, a possible career in real estate, but I really didn't know which direction I wanted to go until really I was in high school and first year of college. My name is Roy Carroll, and I'm the CEO president of the Carroll Companies. Growing up as a very lower middle class upbringing, both my parents worked. My father's a meat cutter, grocery store man. He did a little bit of remodeling on the side. So I'd go help him, after school and on weekends with the remodel jobs. So that's how I got my hands in construction a little bit. We actually lived in rental homes. We didn't even own our own homes. I was in high school. After my father bought his first house, he decided to buy some more rental homes, and he had an opportunity to buy 2 homes up in Danville, Virginia. And I'd saved up money mowing lawns, doing odd jobs and such, and so I'd saved $1,000. And so this was a very modest home. And so he asked me if I wanted to buy the one home, and so I put $1,000 down, and owner finance, I think that's $4,000 or so. So it was a $5,000 home. And I rented it for a year and sold it for a profit to buy a car, which is a bad investment because cars depreciate in value, right? I should have kept that house. So I was in college, and my father got laid off from his grocery store business after 20-some years. Just the early 80s, terrible time to go into real estate. Interest rates are very high. But we had some friends that wanted a house built, and so they knew my father had done some renovations on the side, so they asked my father if he wanted to build their house. I was going to school here locally, and so I would help after school and on weekends, and he and I did a lot of the work hands-on. And when I say did the work, we nailed the nails and swept the floors and did things like that and built the first house. And by the time we'd finished that home, actually had another set of friends that said, hey, you did a good job with that home. Would you be interested in building us a home? And so after building the second house, he and I kind of sat down and said, we may be able to make a career out of this. And so we formed our little company and started doing custom homes on scattered lots around the Greensboro area. We kind of divvied up the worlds. He would run the crews on the job site more so, and I would do more of the estimating and selections with the customers. We still both got out there and drove nails at the end of the day, so it was very rewarding and everything. Those early years starting the business with my father. Real estate business has a lot of risk associated, and from the first year that we started the business, we decided that my father had a little bit of retirement savings that he'd lived on. I was a college student, so it didn't take much for me to live on. So we decided we'd pay ourselves once a year at the end of the year. So we basically put a third of the profits back into the business to grow it, and we'll each take a third. And so as long as he was in the business up until the early 90s, that's the way we paid ourselves. And so I think that was one of the things that kind of was a catalyst for us to be as successful as we were, is just that very conservative approach, which I carry on today. We've got a Hyatt Place hotel right downtown. We have 300 apartments associated with it. We're getting ready to start an AC hotel across the street from it. Rooftop restaurant, another 300 apartment associated. We've got, I don't know how many B-safes we have in town here. And whenever we start a new venture, new project, new idea, we always like to try it out in our backyard where we can kind of tweak it a little bit, get the formula just right before we take it on the road. We're always looking for markets that are emerging and areas where there's new growth and opportunity. And we're also looking for value. We're not going to go out there and be the guys that bid and pay top dollar for a real estate asset. We really beat the bushes hard, so to speak, and try to find value and then try to add to that value by executing in the vertical construction, or if it's an existing building, we'll go in and renovate and invest dollars into, reposition it to a nice place. Well, remodeling a building has a lot more brain damage associated because you don't know what you're going to get into. And the building we're sitting in here is a 17-story building. It's an old Wachovia Bank building. It was built between 63 and 64, and then it was basically abandoned in the early 80s. And so it had gone through bankruptcy a couple times, and insurance company next door, Lincoln Financial, had purchased the building. And they really purchased it to protect their assets because they own several buildings downtown and several other properties. And this is kind of sitting in the middle of them. And so I met with the CEO of the company and convinced him that, we could execute this project. It turned into something that Greensboro will be proud of. And so we lined up that we were going to do condos. This is mid 2005, 2006, we're doing the planning. People lined up to buy condos from us. And so we started construction. We had about half the condos pre-sold. And then 2008 hit. And in 2009, you were hearing just about every day about a developer that did a condo project and they got sideways and they were turning it back over to the bank. And I told people, I said, I will not give this building back to the bank. I was speaking to the CFO one morning and I said, I think it would help us sell more condos and just take that cloud from over the Carroll companies if we just paid off this building. In hindsight, it was one of the smartest things we could have done because word got on the street that, that's how we conduct business. We're not going to walk away from one of our obligations. And, we never reduced the price of one condo in this building. And, we're close to sold out and everything. So, and I live here, so all my neighbors are happy with me because I didn't reduce the price or give it back to the bank. So it turned out well for everyone here. Well, self-storage is kind of like a close cousin to multifamily anyways, the way I see it. And a lot of our communities, we already had garages, we had storage units on site. So I studied the business and I said, let's come up with something that's a little bit unique. There's a lot of good self-storage operators out there today. And so we came up with the B-Safe brand, and where we tried to position B-Safe is that it is top end of the market. Our lighting's a little brighter. We temper the temperatures inside a little bit more than most self-storage operators. And we put a lot of money in the exterior facade. All of our exteriors and the B-Safe are stone and brick, and they really look like an office building, so they fit in well in the upscale communities that we're trying to be in. So that's been a good business model for us, and we're spread out pretty much everywhere where we're already with the multifamily. We're also looking to put B-Safe self-storage facilities. Car storage is something that we've studied. There's a number of different variations of car storage across the country. Where we're a little bit different, and we're doing it, instead of doing like a condo or one big open space where we're placing cars in a big open room, these are individual two-story units that we lease. We give you an upfit allowance where you can personalize it, whatever theme you want to come up with. I'm into cars a little bit, some collecting, and thought it was would go well with some of the other car events that I attend and be able to promote it with some of our B-Safe racing. I guess about 5 years ago, I bought a Ferrari Challenge car and would take it up. There's a racetrack about an hour north of here in Virginia, and was running it around one day, and a race team was looking to form down in Charlotte, and they asked me if I'd be interested in joining them on a Ferrari Challenge series, and so I said sure. And so one thing led to another, and joined the team, and met a lot of great people being involved with that. It's great to be involved with Ferrari. It's helped us brand. It's also helped with employee engagement, and Carroll companies, several employees like to follow our racing program, and it's great that it's kind of pulled a lot of our Carroll companies employees together and everything around the racing program. We had a car in Le Mans this year, partnered with Ferrari. The Ferrari racing program built a Ferrari 488 GTE for us to run in Le Mans, and we had a good experience with that. Came in 5th in our class, so we'll be back at some point in the future and be on the podium one day. Well, this community, Greensboro, has been very good to me and my family over the years, obviously, and so, you know, we're very blessed to be able to give back to the community, and it is rewarding to look out the window of our home here and see various projects we have ongoing. Sometimes I look out the window and see something, though, that, hey, that needs to be changed. Greensboro's a beautiful place. It's a great place to live, great place to grow up, and real blessed to be here.
Welcome to 730 South Galena Street in Aspen, Colorado, currently on the market for $100 million. If sold at this price, the house could be the most expensive single-family home ever sold in Colorado real estate history. The house sits on 1.4 acres of land and boasts 10 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, and over 14,000 square feet. But the most significant feature on the property is the 100 yards of private ski-in, ski-out access on legendary Aspen Mountain. To enter, guests use a standalone private elevator, which takes you from street level to a bridge that leads to the front of the house. Through the home's oversized carved wood doors is the spacious grand entryway. This home was built with hosting in mind. The main floor features a full kitchen, living room, open bar space, and 360-degree views of the mountains in downtown Aspen. No detail was spared in the design of the home. From the wood-burning fireplaces to the custom stained glass ceiling and even the heated bridge walkway. The primary suite is also located on the main floor, featuring a home office, 2 walk-in closets, and a luxurious bathroom. The main floor is wrapped in a deck with multiple sitting areas to take in the Aspen views. One level below the main floor, you will find the home gym and the ski locker room with direct access to the Little Nell ski run. Private ski-in, ski-out access is an exclusive feature in the town, as there are only 5 single-family homes that sit directly on Aspen Mountain. The house features a section not unlike a hotel, with 9 bedrooms, each with their own bathrooms, a second kitchen, and a media room. The home was renovated in 2015, but pays homage to its 1979 style by keeping 1 bedroom in its original design. This expansive home is truly a unique property in the city of Aspen.
Indian Creek is a 294-acre man-made barrier island with just 41 homes, all on one road, Indian Creek Island Road. The population was tallied at a total of just 84 people in the last census, which includes a host of high-profile residents and billionaire landowners. Hi everybody, I'm Giacomo Tognini, a reporter here at Forbes. Today I'm joined by my colleague Phoebe Liu, who recently penned an article about Indian Creek Island, a luxurious billionaire bunker in Miami. Hi Phoebe, welcome. How are you?
Hi Giacomo, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So, Forbes has published various articles about millionaires and billionaires on Indian Creek. Can you tell me a little bit more about the article and sort of what prompted it?
Yeah, so I guess Indian Creek is a man-made island, as you said, off the coast of Miami. It was originally, I guess, built in the early 1900s when they dredged the bay that it's bordering, and no one really lived there for a long time. Then during the Great Depression, all these really wealthy people from out of town were like, let's go make a retreat for ourselves when everyone's suffering on this island. So in the 1930s, they kind of built it out with the 41 homes. They made like a country club and a golf course and incorporated it in 1939. So ever since then, it's kind of been branded this exclusive getaway for really wealthy people / famous people kind of looking for a place to be, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I guess the reason we decided to look into this again right now is because Amazon's Jeff Bezos, or currently the world's third richest person, announced earlier this month that he was moving to Miami and had recently purchased 2 really expensive properties in this very exclusive island. Can you kind of say more about why specifically this place?
Yeah, so, we wrote this article together, and the privacy, I think, is the biggest draw, right? There's only one road, one small bridge in and out of the island, which is guarded sort of by the police force of the island, which is very small. And another potential reason could be taxes, right? Florida has no state income tax, has no state capital gains tax, unlike the state of Washington, where Bezos has obviously resided for a long time. However, a lot of these very wealthy billionaires are so wealthy they don't necessarily see the tax benefits as a reason. But when you look at Bezos, right, who does sell stock in Amazon from time to time, the capital gains tax burden is definitely a consideration. And so while we're on the topic of Jeff Bezos, Phoebe, that was sort of the reason for this article. What are some of the other reasons he moved there? Sort of what else is surrounding this decision?
Yeah, so I think on November 2nd, he made this really sentimental Instagram post showing like the first place he moved to when he founded Amazon in Seattle, and saying that it had basically been really good to him, but he was moving because like he was essentially like returning to his roots. He went to high school there, and his family, he said his parents live there, and his partner, Lauren Sanchez, spends a lot of time in Miami and loves Miami. So he made this really sentimental post saying that he was moving for personal reasons, which of course is a factor, and people have been like, oh, we really respect like someone who wants to be with their family. But of course, like other people have speculated that it's because of tax reasons. Interestingly, I think exactly a week after he announced that, he registered to vote in Florida, which is, I guess, a way of proving that you live there, and that's one of the things that would make you pay Florida taxes. Not saying that this is necessarily the reason, but speculation-wise, like Washington State recently implemented I think 7% capital gains tax. Over the course of Bezos' lifetime, he had sold, I think, $27 billion worth of Amazon stock. And if that capital gains tax had been effective that entire time, that's like $2 billion in taxes that he would have had to pay. And that new 7% tax went into effect at the beginning of 2022. And I guess interestingly enough, this could be coincidence, but the last time Bezos sold Amazon stock was at the very end of 2021. Oh. And he's basically only gifted stock since then. And I think CNBC reported, citing anonymous sources, but saying that Bezos could be or is thinking about selling more Amazon stock soon, which kind of the timing all coincides. So that definitely could be a reason. But again, at the end of the day, he has so much money that taxes really shouldn't matter. But that's like something people have been speculating.
Right. And of course, Bezos is not the only very wealthy resident on the island. You know, when we were reporting the story, we looked at several of the other people who are very wealthy that we know live on the island. Perhaps most famously, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, Tom Brady. But if we're looking right at the sort of the higher end of the net worth scale, we have Carl Icahn, car dealership tycoon Norman Brahman, whose wife Irma actually serves on the 4-member town council on Indian Creek. We have the Emir of Qatar, also reportedly lives there, and several other billionaires, airline mogul Rakesh Gangwal as well, several other billionaires. And they all own, about, one property each generally, right? We have Bezos who has 2. Then we have Jaime Galinsky Bacal, who is a Colombian billionaire who owns the highest number with 5 properties and has sort of gradually built up his holdings on the island over the years. And I think one thing we found with Bezos as well, right, is that frequently, in almost actually all of the cases, these properties are not owned directly in their names, right? They're owned through LLCs, through trusts. And when we were reporting on the story, right, we were trying to figure out, okay, we've believed these properties are owned by Bezos, but how do we actually prove it? Because his name isn't in the documents. But we use sort of a combination of deed records, right, in Miami-Dade County, corporate registries, right, in Florida, and offshore entities for some of the other billionaires and wealthy people who own homes there. And then also sort of just good old-fashioned reporting, right, talking to sources who know the island well and others who helped us put together the fact that all these individuals own these homes, right? There are others that we're still looking into, and it's really interesting to see sort of the breadth, I think, of the kinds of people who own homes here. You have the billionaires we mentioned. We also have, a wealthy Haitian businessman, Gilbert Bijou. We have a Serbian media tycoon, Dragan Šolak, and other people who, while being wealthy, probably aren't on our list of billionaires, right? So it's really interesting to see the kinds of people who own homes there. When they bought it, right? People who bought 10, 20 years ago paid a lot less than Bezos did. And, I also wanted to talk a little bit about sort of what are the reasons, right, that people might own these through LLCs or trusts.
Yeah, so you can definitely say more about this as well, but from talking to some real estate sources in the area and otherwise, they've been saying that these kind of really wealthy, really famous people trying to buy this increasingly expensive property. I think property prices on the island have more than doubled in the last 10 years, something like that. They've increasingly wanted privacy, I guess, in part to prevent people like us from writing about
right.
Where they live and tracking them in that way. So I think at least one of Bezos's property sales on Indian Creek Island was reportedly off market. And people who work in the industry have said that it's been increasingly common to, as you said earlier, not list someone's name at all, anywhere in the documents. And it's just making it harder to track because it's tying in with the theme of the island being kind of a private and exclusive getaway.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes, in one case, we look at court filings to be able to confirm, because there was a court case between a contractor and the LLC that owned it, and we could figure it out that way. And obviously, right, LLCs have the privacy, right, that we talked about. And I think with the trusts, from what we found in our reporting, depending on what kind of trust they are, can also have some other benefits for the owners, right, in terms of potentially shielding the asset from creditors or anyone else who might, be able to take over that asset were something to go wrong, and also potentially some tax benefits, right, in terms of inheritance and the like, if they're passing it on to their children. So it's been great talking to you, Phoebe, and talking more about this story.
Likewise.
My last question is, given everything we've talked about in the story and what we found out, would you want to live on Indian Creek Island?
Yeah, absolutely not. I For one, could not afford a house on the island.
Yeah, me neither.
And I guess not really looking for privacy. It would be cool for reporting in terms of getting to see what these people that we cover do on the island. But yeah, other than that, no.
Perched at the top of one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Breckenridge, Colorado is 457 Timber Trail Road. This home is offered on the market at $11.9 million. My name is Kate Jablonski with Slifer Smith & Frampton Real Estate, and I am a part of Team Moore, who is the listing broker for this property. This home spans over 9,000 square feet with 7 ensuite bedrooms and a total of 8.5 bathrooms. Stylistically, this is a traditional mountain home featuring vaulted ceilings, exposed beams, golden teak hardwood floors, and mahogany finishes throughout. As soon as you walk through the front door, you're greeted with a 2-story foyer with a rotunda staircase with a wrought iron handrail. And then right off the main entrance is the quintessential ski room for all things you need, including a beverage cooler, a tuning bench, and ample ski storage. From the ski room, down the hallway is the large great room with a wall of windows and a double-sided fireplace. And that flows into the dining room that has views of Peak 8 and the Breckenridge ski area. The kitchen features an oversized kitchen island, double thick granite countertops, and high-end appliances. Perfect for entertaining all of your guests. It also features a great breakfast nook to fuel up a morning before you hit the slopes. The other wing of the home features the main floor primary bedroom, which includes a gas fireplace, access to the deck that overlooks your private ski run, a massive walk-in closet with your own washer and dryer. The spacious ensuite bathroom includes a jetted tub and steam shower. You can wake up in the morning and enjoy a fresh cup of coffee directly in your primary suite via the wet bar while overlooking the private ski run. Another place to entertain is the billiards room, where you can enjoy a game of pool while overlooking the private ski run and the twinkling lights of downtown Breckenridge. As you make your way up the grand staircase, you'll find 2 additional bedrooms, both with ensuite bathrooms that truly feel like primary suites for all of your guests. From here, you can take your private in-home elevator down 2 stories to the lower level. The lower level of this home is truly a place to entertain all of your friends and family. The classic 3-tiered movie theater features leather reclining chairs, a massive projected movie screen, and a surround sound system. The centerpiece of the lower level is this gorgeous walk-behind bar with old recycled tin from Breckenridge. Off the entertaining spaces are 2 bunk rooms. There's enough sleeping space to host even the largest of gatherings. The beauty of this home is that it's directly on the Breckenridge Ski Resort, where you can access all levels of terrain. So right in your backyard, you have the world-class Breckenridge Ski Resort. You don't have to deal with the lines of the gondola, the buses. You can seriously be in and out in 5 minutes. So the Breckenridge Ski Resort is actually located on 99% national forest. So to have a true ski in, ski out single family home is very rare in this area. And there's only about 2 neighborhoods in the whole town that actually have true ski in, ski out access. From the Timber Trail neighborhood that we're in, there is only 6 home sites that are actually on the ski run. The Breckenridge Ski Resort caters to everyone from beginners to expert and advanced skiers and snowboarders. The ski resort also has the Imperial chairlift, which is iconic as being the highest chairlift in North America. The wonderful thing about Breckenridge is the weather. If we're not getting fresh snow, it's typically a sunny day with bluebird skies and not a cloud in sight. The town itself is great. It actually has a really rich history of mining. It was founded as a mining town during the 1880s with the gold rush, and a lot of Main Street is lined with a lot of historical buildings that really make it unique. The town offers great 5-star restaurants, really creative and unique shopping, and it boasts some great places to enjoy other activities other than skiing. Dog sledding, ice skating, winter activities for all ages. You know, the local saying is come for the winters, stay for the summers, because this really has become a year-round destination. Other than the amazing winters we have, the summers you can, watch all the wildflowers, hike, bike, paddleboard on the lake, fly fish and raft down the roaring rivers, as well as see some great foliage in the fall. There's also a complimentary shuttle for this neighborhood. So Breckenridge really takes pride in the town as well as being a destination. This legacy estate is the epitome of a luxury mountain retreat.
Kendall Roy's New York City penthouse on Succession is listed for $29 million. Want to live like a member of the Roy family? As Succession's Season 4 continues, viewers get an even deeper glimpse into the lives of the ultra-wealthy Roy family, including their homes. While it was only on screen for a few seconds, the Manhattan penthouse of Kendall Roy showcased his glamorous living quarters. The new Waystar Royco CEO's fictional home is on the market in real life for a cool $29 million. The triplex Manhattan penthouse is located in the swanky Upper East Side residential tower, 180 East 88th Street. The 5,508 square foot unit has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 2 half bathrooms. The modern penthouse has high ceilings reaching up to 28 feet, floor-to-ceiling windows encircling each room, and a sculptural spiral staircase that connects the levels. Views stretch far across Manhattan, overlooking Central Park and the city skyline. This home is truly fit for a billionaire. The penthouse's main and lowest level features an airy living room, dining room, and a kitchen outfitted by Molteni and C. Dada, with Statario marble countertops and Gaggenau appliances. This floor also has a den that could be used as a studio, personal office, extra bedroom, or library. The second floor houses the bedrooms, including the spacious primary suite with a gas fireplace, Loggia Terrace overlooking Central Park, a dressing room, and a spa-like bathroom. The bathroom has travertine slabs, mosaic accented walls and flooring, oak cabinetry, honed Bianco Grigio marble countertops, a rain shower, and cove lighting. The light herringbone floors throughout the home give it a bright, upscale feel. The other bedrooms share a loggia terrace that overlooks the eastern cityscape and bridges. The third floor is where you can find the sprawling rooftop terrace, spanning 2,100 square feet, with panoramic city views and an extra powder room for guests. The terrace hovers 467 feet over the city and is divided into 2 areas. For added convenience, an elevator services all 3 floors. The building has just 47 condo residences, and there's a 24-hour doorman, concierge services, and a whopping 8 floors of amenities, like a fitness studio, double-height basketball court, soccer pitch, playroom, game room, residence lounge with a catering kitchen, wine storage, and bike storage. This tower is the highest residential tower north of 72nd Street on the city's Upper East Side, making this the highest unit in this area as well. Just steps from the tower's Carnegie Hill location is fabulous shopping and dining, though the area benefits from a safe and quiet residential location between Lexington and 3rd Avenue. This isn't the first time that Succession has depicted swoon-worthy real estate. Last season, the family traveled to Italy for the late Logan Roy's ex-wife, Carolyn Collingwood's wedding. There, the HBO show showcased 2 spectacular Italian villas, Settinale and Villa La Casinella. In addition to the many Hamptons and New York City properties already shown on the show, it's likely that real estate lovers are in for a treat for the rest of this final season.